Hey everyone, it's time for another emotional chord pattern tutorial. You guys really liked the last one I did, so I wanted to do it again, but better. So today I'm going to show you the key to making the most powerful emotional chord patterns you could have ever dreamed about making. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Here's our first project that we're going to use as an example to build our emotional chord patterns with. And we have a vocal, it sounds like this.
But I don't want half of your heart. You can have.
So we have to make those come to life with some beautiful emotional chords. I'm actually giving away these vocals for free to anybody who gets Eternal Vocal Collection. And this is a limited time Black Friday deal only. That won't last, so make sure you hit the description of this video and grab the Eternal Vocals Collection now. I also just dropped a completely free song making kit with some vocal samples in that kit as well, and you can check that out in the description below this video. As always, all samples are royalty free. Let's get back into this video. Emotional chord patterns are all about what's around that chord pattern and the actual sound that's making that chord pattern. The chords alone don't really do much. When you're building chord patterns, the first thing you really want to do is pick a sound that lets you get into your feels. So pick a nice emotional sounding sound. I have this soft piano from Spitfire Audio. It's one of my favorite free plugins. It sounds like this. And this is definitely going to help us go down to emotional town. So where do we start? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is understand what key signature that you're going to work in so you can use that key signature to your advantage. There's some tricks that you could use in a major key signature and other tricks you could use in a minor key signature to really get that emotional sound. I'm going to be working in the key of A minor because that's what key my vocals are in. And minor key signatures tend to be a little bit easier to get an emotional sound because they have a deeper, sadder, and more emotional sound than a major key signature, which tend to be more uplifting and positive. So I'm going to be working in A minor. So what do I do when I'm in a minor key signature? I take the tonic of that key signature. So I'm in A minor, and I'm just going to build a guide note all the way across a 4-bar loop. So we have a 4-bar loop here. Kind of boring, but that's okay. Now we're set up to use our emotions to create the deepest harmony we can. And we're going to do that with the bass notes. Up here. And for each of these guide notes, I'm just going to do some group of notes that I think sound the best. Right there. Just right there. Like, did you feel that? It went do, do, and like you just fill up with all this stuff. So we have 2 more notes. Check this out. That's exactly what you're looking for. Just a simple harmony like that that really sounds good. And you can't move on until you do that right. So I like that. And now I'm ready to build the chords. Building the chords is easy. It's just simple math. We can grab these now and copy and paste them 5 steps up to create a 5-step interval. And 5-step intervals always work. And now what we have to do is we have to build the completed triad with all of these 5-step intervals. This isn't our triad, although it could work. It might have fallen in place for some of these chords, but we're going to ignore this for a second and just build the chords. And we need to put a note in between each of these intervals. So you can either use this note or this note in between each of the intervals, and you have to decide which one sounds better because that's the right note to use. There are no wrong notes in music, but some notes, they sound better than others. So this is going to be that one. So these are my completed triads, but my notes are a little too bunched up and too deep down on the piano rolls. So if I play, it's just gonna sound like a bunch of mush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spread these out now by taking these middle notes and putting them up an octave like that. These are layered on top of each other, so I'm just gonna delete that. So now if we play this, once I find a beautiful set of chords that sounds good with that piano, I start looking for other potential sounds that I could use in my song. Here's the same chords with this weird synth I made from scratch. Isn't that crazy? And then I layered this just a step farther into Vibe Town. When your synths are piled up, like I said earlier, you want to focus on what's around the chord pattern. Nothing enhances an emotional chord pattern like a crazy atmosphere. So I took these chops and these vocal pads out of Eternal Vocal Pack, and I got this sound. Now watch what happens when I combine those and the beautiful vocals.
I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart.
Here's another example, but this time I want to show you how to do this in a major key. So the key we're going to be working in is E flat major because our vocals are in E flat major.
Went from the front to the back of your mind. Is it so easy leaving me behind?
So we have a nice cheery vocal on the same piano that we used in the last example. And this time, since we're in E flat major, our guide note's going to be on E flat. Just like for A minor, our guide note was on A. And the rhythm of my chords are going to be something like this. And that's it. Now we harmonize the bass line. Now instead of a 4-bar chord pattern like the last one, we're going to do an 8-bar chord pattern here. I'm going to show you how to keep your longer chord patterns interesting over time without getting repetitive. So I'm just going to copy and paste it like this, but instead of resolving on the C here, we're going to resolve down here. Now that we have our beautiful harmony, we could take our notes, copy them. Now I'm going to move these up a whole octave just to spread out the notes. I don't want everything jumbled up down low on the piano roll like that. Then I'm going to copy them again and drag them up 5 steps or 7 semitones to create that interval. So now we get this. So beautiful. Now we could stop it here, but there's room to add some other notes here. Technically right here, we don't have a full triad. All we have is an interval because this note is the same note as this note. So we can complete the triad by putting in that middle note right there. We can complete this triad here. This one's already done. Complete this triad here, this one here, and leave this one alone. Now watch what happens when I mix these chords with this Atmo that I took from Eternal Vocal Pack and this vocal that's also from the pack.
Ending on broken foundation. So if I fall down, if I fall down, if up all down, up all the way down.
Here's one key takeaway from this video. Use the tonic of the key signature to hold the emotions of that chord pattern together. If you're in a major key signature, your tonic is going to make the emotion of your chord pattern a little bit more positive and up energy. If you're in a minor key signature, using that tonic to hold together the emotion is going to give you a more serious, gloomy sound. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we have a Black Friday deal going on where you get 2 vocal kits for free when you get Eternal Vocal Collection. You can check that out in the description below this video, and I'll see you in the next video.